Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jessica Flynn and I am the owner and maker of Flynn Sisters Boutique. And if you remember my video from last Saturday, we worked on that beautiful tooled leather and turquoise design, and I featured a rhinestone lid for that tumbler. And in this video, I want to take you through all the simple steps to make that happen. That video on Saturday was so long, I just could not fit the rhinestone lid situation into that video, so we're making a separate video. I hope you guys enjoy this. It's so easy to rhinestone your lids. I'm going to have all the products that you see in this video listed and linked down below in the description box. You might even find some discount codes for you there as well. So that's enough chit chat for me. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay guys, so we're going to start by prepping our lid. This is a screw-on lid from Craft Haven. It comes with the screw-on skinnies and some of the other options that she has. I will link the ones down below that come with this type of lid from Craft Haven. So we want to plug this little hole that's for the straw here. I'm going to do that with some masking tape, and I'm going to run my blade just along the outside of the plastic rim or the seal of that hole so that we create a perfect little circle with our tape. Once we get that cut, we're just going to remove the excess tape and we should have a perfect little plug for that hole. Then I'm going to tape along the outside to protect the plastic parts of the screw-on part of the lid. I forget what those are called. But we want to tape that all the way off. We just don't want to get any paint or anything under there because we are going to spray paint to base paint this. I like to place that tape just at the bottom of the stainless steel. So like just right a hair above the seam line where the metal meets the plastic. All right, and then I'm going to go around with a nail file on around the hole here so I don't accidentally remove that tape. And then I'll take my 80 grit sanding block and rough up the remaining surfaces. You don't have to do anything crazy. We just want to rough it up enough to give that paint something really clean to adhere to. After my sanding, I'm going to wipe this down with some rubbing alcohol and a paper towel. And now we're ready to base paint. For my base paint today, I'm using Color Shot spray paint in the color Farmer's Daughter. It's the perfect pink for this pink mix. You don't have to base color your lids, but I like the way it looks, and I think when you're using these more colorful mixes, going with the main color for the mix you're using is a good idea, similarly to how we would prep for glitter, right? We always want to base paint to get the best results. As soon as my paint is dry to the touch, I'm going to remove that masking tape that I applied earlier. And now we're ready to apply our stones. Stones I'm using today are a beautiful glass stone mix from Auntie Tay. This is called 16th Birthday, I think, and it's a gorgeous mix with all different kinds of sizes, ranging from an SS6 to an SS30, and you've got transparent stones in there, you've got some AB coated stones, so many beautiful colors in this mix. I absolutely love it. The glue I'm using today is Liquid Fusion, and I have it in a syringe that I will link. I got this from Amazon. And I like to just poke the end of it into a silicone bead to keep the glue from drying out on me, okay? So we're just going to apply a really thin bead of glue here. Remember, you don't want too much to where the glue is going to spill out along the side of your stones after you place it. But you don't want too little to where it dries too quick and it doesn't adhere your stone properly. So finding that kind of fine balance, it takes a little bit of practice, I think, but the syringe definitely helps me to get a small amount on there. If I got too much glue, I'll just take a little off with the tip of my wax pencil and then clean it off from my wax pencil and keep it moving. I am using a scatter method, so I'll use all different sizes, which can be a little bit of a challenge in this kind of narrow part of the lid here. I'm sorry that I'm incredibly out of focus for this shot. I was out of frame and I'm trying to fix it, but whatever. So you're just gonna try to arrange your stones the best that you can. If you wanted to go in like a pattern to make it easier, but still make it look like a scatter, That's sort of what I did. I found what combinations of stones fit in that narrow pathway and just repeated that pattern mostly around the whole rim of the cup. So at this point, we should have something that looks like this, very beautiful. Now I'm going to address this little hole here around the straw area. I want to put all tiny stones in this section because it's a little bit curved, and I don't want to place larger stones there where they'll not sit flat against that kind of curved space. So I'm using the smallest stones in this mix. I think they're an SS6. And I'm just going to use only that size along this hole here. So we should have something that looks like this. Next, I'm going to address the outer rim. So you'll notice there's that lip there around the whole lid that we need to kind of be careful around, because again, anytime we're placing the stones, we want those stones to lay flat. So I'm going to concentrate just on that outer rim, trying to get my stone placement as close to the corner as possible without them kind of overlapping off the side. So I have to be smart with like the stone sizes that I choose to make sure that they all fit flat against that surface. Okay, so I just went along in a straight line, again lining the edge of my stone up along the edge of the rim there, so we try and cover up as much of that paint as possible. And you'll see the very, very small amount of glue that I'm using to keep everything nice and neat. We don't want too much glue because that's going to take away the shine from our stones and it's going to make things look kind of messy. Once we're done filling in that outer rim, we should have something that looks a little bit like this. I already started on a second row on the inside of that outer row that I just did, trying to fill in the gaps. Again, you do have to be kind of smart with the sizes of stones that you're placing here so that nothing's like rocking off the corner. You want to try to let them stay nice and flat. Once I finish those 2 rows along the outer rim, you'll notice this very small dip from the lip of that outer rim. I'm filling in with like SS10s. Not the smallest stone, but like the second up from the smallest stone in this mix. And that's so, again, the stone will lay flat because that's such a narrow little angled lip. I don't want to place larger stones there that aren't going to lay totally flat. So I'm just going in a nice and neat row with these tiny stones all the way around that little inner narrow lip. Now that I'm finished with all those fussy little areas, I'm going to let it rip with just a regular scatter method. So I'm using small 1-inch sections of glue at a time, making like very thin lines of the glue. And then I'm going to place my stones, making sure each one is firmly placed against the lid at placement before I move on to the next. And we're varying the sizes, trying to make it as random as possible. However, for me, when I'm working in like smaller spaces, it helps for me to have kind of a pattern so I can predict what size to grab next. But that's just what helps me. Here is what she looked like all finished. I haven't cleaned it off yet. You do want to wash these, but I want to wait a couple days for that glue to fully dry before I mess around with it. Here's the other one I made for the turquoise and tooled leather tutorial that we did a couple weeks ago. I just love these anti-taste stone mixes. I think they're so cute and so quick to do, and you really don't need a whole lot. This is a 100-gram jar and we barely cut into it. So you can definitely stone a lot of lids with these mixes. After that glue dried for a couple days, I did wash these in the sink with just a, sponge and some Dawn dish soap. And dried them up, and look at how beautiful and sparkly the color shift on these mixes is. So gorgeous. I wish I could show these in the daylight, but it's nighttime right now. Let me know what you guys thought of this in the comments, and if you liked my video, please be sure to give us a big thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I upload new videos every Saturday. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you soon. And a big thank you to all of our Flynn Sisters exclusive members. Thank you for your pledge. Your support means the world to our channel. If you love this video, you could check out our last video here. Also be sure to find us on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, and of course subscribe for all our new videos that come out every Wednesday and Saturday. Thanks so much for watching. See you soon.